Alright, hello there lovely patrons. Welcome back to another Patreon exclusive tutorial on Touch Designer. And today we're going to look at this simple technique to create this kind of 3D effect without actually having to use 3D geometry or like sops or like materials or anything. It's really just tops, but it looks kind of 3D. So I'm gonna just show you these examples. So this is what I recently posted on Instagram. I'm not gonna show you exactly how I made these, but this 3D look that you can see on these is done with this technique. So it's really just tops, and yeah, there's actually two techniques here that I'm gonna show you. And I'm also going to show you, I'm going to show you that with a noise, and I'm also going to show you with some images, so you can kind of use this as a filter for like images or like an effect. So yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. Let's just dive in. Just gonna put these aside and delete everything else. Alright, so we're gonna start with a noise as usual, and I'm gonna change the resolution here to 1080 by 1080, and we're gonna look at the pixel format later, and I'm gonna just change this to period 4, crank up the harmonics here to like 10, go down with the harmonic gain a bit to like 0.45, and change the amplitude to 1 and the offset to 0. So we kind of get this look. Okay, we're gonna do more stuff here. I'm just gonna add a fit here, and this fit is not really necessary for the noise, but it's nice to just have that there so we can easily switch the inputs with images and everything, just as I did right now. So I'm gonna change this to like fit outside, and I also change this to like 1080 by 1080. And then I'm gonna just start with the first technique. So the first technique is the bit like slightly more complicated one, or like just with more steps, I guess. And I actually prefer the other one now, but I want to show you both of them because this is just how I started this myself. So this one is using a normal map, and you can't really see much in here, and that's totally fine. You don't need to change anything about this. We just add a level. I'm going to add a few levels here. And on this level, I just want to change the brightness a bit higher. Go down with the gamma to like something around this. I noticed this number works well. Or all these numbers. And go up with the contrast to like 5. Then we want to add a monochrome here to just get rid of the color. So we have something that looks like this now, and now we want to increase the contrast quite a bit again. So we just add another level here. With all these levels, you really just have to like see on your own how you do this, what works the best for you. I notice for me this works pretty well, so it's just how I do it now. And I'm gonna just change these values to the one I used. So yeah, we kind of already have this landscape going on here, and we can just add a null, pressing with Alt N on your keyboard, and just call this BG, and you can turn on the display here. Now we can add another level, or we can try to like get the right look here. So this actually should totally work. So slight changes on the level here make for a big difference, as you can see. So I guess something like this should work nicely. And yeah, we already have our kind of 3D landscape here going on. And yeah, as you can see, it's super simple and it's very efficient on the GPU or on your computer generally. So because it's working on your GPU, so yeah, this is working nicely. So before I show you some other stuff here, or the second technique, I'm gonna go to the output of the noise. And let's turn on dither. And I actually think for this technique, dithering, I can't really explain what it's doing, but it looks a lot better, especially when you're like in the 8-bit format. And when you turn on dithering, it suddenly looks a lot more detailed. So I can recommend that for this technique, or maybe for other cases as well. Just check this out. You also have this option for blurring. So on the blur, you also have this dither option, and it can sometimes really make a difference. Before I get into the pixel form and everything, let's start with the second technique. So the second one, there's actually kind of, because I kind of realized that when I was in this process, like there's actually a top for exactly doing what we're doing here. So let's just add that, and it's called the emboss top. So what it says down here is creates the effect that an image is embossed in a thin sheet of metal. Edges in the image will appear raised. So we don't, I don't really want this to be in metal, but yeah, kind of want to have this 3D. So the strength is set to 1 right now, and you can't really see anything there. So we can like increase it slightly. Now you can start like seeing that there. I actually put it way high to like 150. So now we really have our 3D image here. So let's add a level to this and a no. And let's just put that to the right there so we can kind of compare what's going on here. And on a level, I'm just gonna increase the brightness a bit and go down with the gamma. And maybe increase the contrast. No, actually, that doesn't look that good. So maybe even go down with the brightness. Yeah, really just kind of try what's best for you here. I just kind of want to get rid of the gray here, so that's the thing that I'm trying to achieve. So yeah, that's what the level is for. You can also go down with the strength here, so you don't have such a high contrast. Maybe that works better for you. So I think that looks pretty nicely. So as you can see, this is like just 2 steps actually, as opposed to like 4 here, or like even 5 if you want to add another level as I did before. So the cool thing about this is also that you can, as I just showed, you can change the strength, you can change the midpoint, so you can go down with that a bit. Actually, looks even better. And the best thing is you can change the direction, so you can kind of emulate wherever the light is coming from. So yeah, you can just kind of go around this and change where the color is coming from, the light. So yeah, as you can see, these two look kind of different. Yeah, there's different use cases. Another plus for this thing is, like for the emboss top, if we go here and if we change the format to like 16-bit float to have it like be more detailed, or like 32-bit float, then this doesn't really work well with this. I mean, we can go and change these things around, but it doesn't really work that well. Like as you can see, well, let's just add another level here to just kind of try this out. It just doesn't really work well. So like the cool thing is with the emboss, it doesn't really matter what format you have here. It's always gonna work and look good. So yeah, that's definitely a plus for that. Also try around with the monochrome here, like turning that off. It makes for a bit more interesting shapes. Just gonna get rid of this now. So yeah, this is pretty neat, because you can just yeah, I mean, technically now, if you even leave the fit away, it's really just free tops, and you can already create these landscapes, and I think that's super cool. So yeah, what you can also do, of course, change the exponent here, change the harmonic gain. That really makes a difference. And anything about these. So you can of course go down with the harmonics generally. Yeah, see what works best for you. You could animate this with ABS time, not seconds, or something similar, but I didn't. Like with harmonics set too high, it doesn't actually look that good. Turn on and off the dither option to see what's better for you there. You can play around with the direction here and the strength. You can also set this to like 1000. It still kind of looks cool, like it still works. You can really go high with this and just see what's nice for you there. I thought like 150 is a nice value. Anything else? Yeah, right. We can now input images as well. So I just have these images like here of like this man. So I mean, this is kind of like Photoshop or something with like the emboss effect. So yeah, it's a bit lame, I guess, for images, but it's also cool. Like it definitely looks cool. And here I just added a level, because if I don't have that, it's really, you can't really see that much, because you kind of need to go like really go down with this quite a lot to be able to see more. So if I just get rid of this, I mean, you can see more of the image, but it's also kind of like it's too much for me. But yeah, feel free to do whatever you want there. Also, what I'm not going to do that now, but I can just tell you a bit what you can do. You can add like a feedback loop here, for example. Like the one from like Paqueta 12's tutorial, or like my recent one with the watercolors, or something similar, like a reaction diffusion sketch. You can all put these in here and then use this technique on them to kind of make them look 3D in a very simple way. And also you could add displacement here, so that's kind of a tip to make this look cool. And of course at the end here you could add like a lookup and like a ramp, and then you could change the colors here of these of this landscape. So feel free to kind of play around with this. So yeah, this way it's very simply have color there. I love this technique with the lookup and ramp, as you might have noticed now. Yeah, all right. I think that's about it. Feel free to use this in any way you wish, and I'll see you soon. And thank you so much for being a patron and supporting me. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, see you on the next one.